Welcome to another Three Aficionados. That's me running high technology with Sukasa, running that music off of another computer because that's how we do it here. Talking
no, start over, Steve. Get your balls back. Start strong. Fuck that.
All right.
Do it again. Just welcome back. You're the man.
Get off this.
You're the best.
Welcome to another Three Aficionados. We're not making up for anything. We have all of our balls back, and we're talking about all things analog, cars, watches, and most importantly, gonads. That's Sukasa breaking it down. And today we're going to be talking a little bit around some interesting M4 Csl car drop news. A very rare watch that none of us will be getting, the 5th anniversary Baltic watches. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about high society Met Gala, which probably went low society. And I can't wait for Daniel to shit talk them all. And we're going to talk about everything else. And we're going to talk about hypermiling Daniel because he'll be hypermiling himself across the town. And with that, I'm going to shut up. We're going to pop it off with a little Leffa time.
Of course.
I'm going to be the only one with a Leffa.
Yeah.
You know what? They had their chance. They had their chance to be our sponsor.
We can't get our shit together.
They gave up on it. They gave up on us. We didn't give up on them.
I'm not sure what that means.
There looks like, eh?
I like how we're rotating here. So Peter, what's popping? Peter is currently sucking the foam.
He's going through what I go through every time I have a Guinness.
A very foamy Guinness.
You gotta invert that shit. Oh, you're doing it from the can. Uh-oh. Daniel's gonna shit talk you now.
Yeah.
No way. Look at that mustache. I would never, ever talk shit about that guy.
I didn't come prepared and get a glass before this, so we're unfortunately going straight out the can.
The Three Aficionados are douchebags.
Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
We drink out of cups. High society.
Us delicate city boys need a glass.
Yeah, well, you got a horn, so I got to compensate. So
got a big horn.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
I got a beautiful Bex from America.
America. I got the Leffa Blondie.
Yes. I actually really like.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I actually really like Leffa. I've started my first few. I was kind of on the fence, but the last couple I had, I enjoyed them. They were good.
Yeah, I think there's a taste that you develop for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're younger, the first time you taste coffee, maybe you love it. I don't think most people like it. I think most people convince themselves to just drink it enough that they become familiar with something and then find pleasure in it. I mean, I don't know if I loved coffee the first time I ever drank it, but I know for a fact I did not like alcohol the first time I drank it. I just wanted to be like one of the big people, so I would force myself. But now I love it. And my dad just came back from a road trip and brought a few cases of this Beck's back, and he was all excited. And I said, it says right on the bottle here, originated in Germany, brewed in USA.
There you go.
Pretty sweet. Get to have some American beer.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
Known for the good beer, right?
What's rocking on the wrist today?
I've got my BMW chronograph on, number 330 in the limited run of 2000. So it doesn't sound that limited, but compared to the limited runs Rolexes do, that's basically nothing. I got one for my brother as well, an identical one. I don't remember which number he got, but if he got a number like 540 or something, I'd probably want to trade with the guy. But I had a 330. I've gotten a number 330, and because I had the Diamond 5 based on the 540, that's the reason why I would consider wanting the other number as well. But I love it. It's simple, wasn't expensive. I've had it for over 10 years now, and I've worn it a lot. Still really like it. I don't know what's
more depressing, the fact that there's more limited runs of Porsche lines that are really desirable, or that you didn't get the number M5.
Well, if they introduced that kind of alphanumerical system, I would have aimed for something like that.
You
Yeah.
I'd
should
have
have
been like, can I
demanded
get limited number diamond 5, please? But like, basically, I worked for BMW at the time when this watch came out, and because I worked there, I would get discounts on the products that they would sell. So I saw this and I was like, you know what, I'll get one for me, get one for one of my brothers. My other brother doesn't give a shit about watches. He wears a Casio calculator, not to insult you guys, or he wears like the cheapest Casio one from Walmart, you know, that everyone loves. And he's just a bit of a hipster, so he loves that, but he doesn't give a shit about watches.
I guarantee you it's not a gold calculator.
It's not.
calculator
No, it's
watch.
the black plastic
Yeah,
crap
no
one that's like
gold,
$10. You guys have the cool one.
Yeah. I got mine
Um,
right on my bedside.
But
Yeah.
before I jump to you guys, I'll say my brother Jacob took the red G-Shock with him on a trip. He's currently in Qatar in the airport there, and he's en route to Nepal to do a trek there. So we'll have later some images and footage, unless he pulled a classic move that someone in me, like myself or in my family, would do, and maybe he forgot it somehow. Hopefully he took the G-Shock with him, because I've asked him to throw it off a cliff somewhere and then go find it. I'm like, once you get up to like 25,000 feet, can you just like drop it somewhere and just take a video of it falling? Like somewhere, and hopefully you can find it. And if you can't, I don't give a shit. You know, but I gave it to him as a gift to take with him because it's indestructible. And I said, that's a hilarious request I have. I don't expect you to do it, but I hope you wear it on your hike up to Everest and the other areas there, because I think that would be so cool.
I feel like it's difficult to kill, but not so difficult to lose off the side of a fucking mountain.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you can find an area where it's like a sheer cliff, then you can kind of like, you know, maybe attach something to it. I don't know. It's bright
Wouldn't
red.
it be awful if you just killed like a child down the mountain with a G-Shock?
Oh, man,
It just
better
like
call him and
fell
say, don't
so
do it now.
It's like why you don't throw coins off the top of the Empire State Building, because you might just like bullet someone. By the
Man,
time
I
it
could have
reaches.
just claimed negligence before, but now I have to claim like,
You've
you know,
definitely
that
murdered
I have
someone.
to, like, I know that that's a possibility now. I wasn't thinking about that. So
Yeah. Well, I just like to ruin your day. I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Well-
They'll make sure there's no little children nearby, no golden eagles that they could accidentally kill, and then drop a bright red G-Shock. Hopefully it's like 1,000 feet, and just see what happens. Because there's all these losers dropping shit off of like the roof of their condo building. I'm like, that's just lame, man. Everyone can do that.
Just
I
tell
want
them
to
to-
see something intense.
You just got to tell them. Just be like, heads up.
Hello,
G-Shock.
there's a G-Shock coming.
Do you know what a G-Shock is? Well,
It's
you're
stronger
about to
than
fucking
you.
find out.
So what's so enough about me. What's up with you guys?
Peter P.
Peter P's got the Seiko on the wrist today. I felt like it was a Seiko kind of a good day, so I got for no one who's watching, it's the SKX 009, I believe. And yeah, it's in the Pepsi bezel with kind of a dark blue dial. It's beautiful. I've had this watch for a really long time. I was actually thinking today when I had it on that I think the bracelet started to get stretched out, so I may need to do some adjustments on it. Just because I found that I feel like it's a little bit looser on me than it used to be. Unless my
I
wrist
feel
got-
like
I don't know,
that
other
must
wrist.
be the watch that united us. I think
It
that
is.
I saw that on your wrist and I was like, hey, you got a cool watch on.
Yeah, it actually
Yeah.
looks really good in this light too. So
I was
yeah,
like-
this was I think the watch, and I remember too the first time I met you. Well, not the first time I met you, but the first time I noticed one of your watches. It was you had on the Omega, the moon watch.
The moon watch. Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
it wasn't it was one of the first times. Yeah, it was.
that was a
you-
long time ago.
Used to
Yeah.
wear
It's
a
that a
deep
lot.
cut.
Yeah, it's a
That
long
was your
time ago.
go-to watch back in the day. Like every
Yeah.
time we'd get together, you were wearing that back in the day.
Definitely. I had like multiple straps. I was constantly changing it.
Yeah.
Now I change multiple watches rather than straps.
There you go.
Yeah.
I still love that watch though,
It's beautiful. Yeah.
but I enjoy it the most seeing it on my wife's wrist. It's kind of like when Jerry
Looks great on
Seinfeld
her.
likes how he enjoys to watch his cars be driven by other people.
Totally.
The moon watch is one that I enjoy seeing on other people's wrists more. Well, more my wife. So yeah,
That's
she wears it
awesome.
better. Her
I'd
wrists are
like to
thicker.
just say that reflects quite heavily on your personality, just generally though. And it's something similar to like my grandparents' attitude or my attitude, where it's like there are people who enjoy giving gifts more than they enjoy receiving gifts. And that's how I feel. I love seeing someone happy because I managed to help them get something maybe they couldn't get themselves, or maybe just surprise them with like a nice gift. You know, that watch looks amazing on Laura. Like it's just suits her like down to a T, you know, and I didn't even think about it until you said you gave it to her. And I was like, that makes absolute sense. It's
That's
her,
why,
it's her style perfectly.
yeah, I find that's perfect on her wrist, and the green and gold Rolex Daytona is perfect on my grandfather's wrist. To me,
Totally.
both of those watches suit them more than they suit me.
Yeah.
And it brings me more happiness to see it on their wrist. So for my grandfather's birthday, that's his watch.
That's a
Yeah.
great choice.
But
What's
put
on
that
your,
his wrist.
what's on your wrist today then?
My wrist? I have nothing now. Liquidated.
You liquidated everything.
Yeah, I'm just wearing. What am I wearing? Fuck, it's the black dial Daytona 116500LN. I figured this doesn't get enough wrist time, and it's out of the deposit box. I like circulating, but I've got the white and the black dial, and I feel very anxious having both of them out in the circulation. And I really like the black dial. I think it goes very nice. It's a little bit more under the radar. For those who know, they really need to know. And I thought it also was a little bit topical because Dave Chappelle just got checked on stage, and this is the watch that he was wearing recently on one of his sets. So I was like staring at it the entire time. I watched one of his stand-ups and I saw it on his wrist. He got the black dial Daytona. I was like, well done, sir. I think you really need to know where's the white dial. You can't as easily spot it. And I'm just noticing Peter just mysteriously going down. He's like deflating or something like that. Whoa, he's got like a pneumatic chair.
The desk.
That's not the chair. That's just our egos deflating after being happy about our watches, and then you just showing the Daytona.
Now they're
like, oh yeah, we like these watches. They're really nice. And they're like, oh, I forgot what I'm wearing. Oh, it's this black dial Daytona. And Peter's like,
well, I was fixated and thinking about the green dial gold Daytona, and yeah,
that's
you know,
I miss it.
It's interesting that you're wearing. Well, it's not. Well, yeah, sure, it's interesting, but it's convenient you're wearing that watch because just yesterday I was having a chat with one of our friends, Nick, on Instagram. Well, one of our friends, Nick, through Instagram, and he's known on Instagram as 3Pedal V, and he's got a a few sweet rides, but one of the rides that we really bonded over initially was a Subaru STI back in the day. When I worked at Subaru, we met there. He worked for Auto Trader, I believe, and then he also bought a CTSV wagon, and we went out for a drive in that thing. And honestly, that is one of the most incredible sleeper cars on the road. It is freaking crazy fast. Yeah. But the reason why I bring it up is because we were talking about the Daytona and about how very difficult it is to get right now. So we were talking about other watches that would be attainable right now that perhaps you could see, you know, like at a discount. So like, let's just say, yes, the Daytona is unattainable, but it is something that's interesting. We were talking about the NFL Primero as an alternative. And he sent us a photo through our Instagram page in the chats there of him wearing it on his wrist. And it looked incredible.
Cool.
So I was just like, man, you should buy that watch. Just try and talk a discount into it, but buy that freaking watch and forget it, because like different watches suit people perfectly. And that watch suits you and your like style. A black dial Daytona right now, it suits you so well.
Yeah.
But he's a different kind of guy, a little bit. And maybe a bit smarter, more intelligent, better educated. And he like that Zenith, I was like, man, it looks so freaking good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I was so tempted when I saw that.
It's cool.
It's a beautiful watch for sure. I was super tempted. Again, if it weren't for the fact that I have got the two steel Daytonas, I would be super tempted for sure. The one that we were talking about, the boutique only with the tricolore ceramic bezel, if that were available, I'd immediately buy it up right now.
Beautiful.
But why don't, that's a perfect segue for watches that we can't get and that are in the news. So
Totally.
why don't I
Just
share
like
a
the
little
new
bit?
Timex that we can't get because they're, geez, wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
This
It
is
is super-
the Baltic 5-year anniversary aquascape or aquascaphe. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I would assume it is aquascape, dual crown.
Yeah, I think
I really like the dual crown. That's pretty cool looking. And it's got this, green seafoam Tiffany color, and then it's purple. So it's to kind of nod the head to the 90s kind of vintage. And it comes with two different straps. You get the, Tiffany-ish color strap, and then you get the purple strap. And the both kind of match certain little elements that are on the dial. So you got some purple on the sub register. I'm not sure exactly how to describe that. And then you got a little bit of seafoam Tiffany on that minute hand. I think it's pretty cool. And the moment I saw it, I immediately tried to see if it was available, and it was immediately sold out. It is flamboyant and unique dial is the way they describe it. When I saw flamboyant, I was like, I'm all over that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Steve.
and unique. I've never
Yeah.
seen another watch that looks like it before ever. That dial
that's
is
nice.
completely new. I've never seen a watch that has a layout like that.
Yeah.
Is it only? It looks like it's only like the first 6 numbers too, hey? Or is it only?
Yeah, it's
up-
only in this track, I think. It's not
Well,
all the way around for the purple.
No, it doesn't look like it.
So what do you
Yeah.
guys
It's
like
actually
about it?
It only goes up to the 4th hour, or the 4th marker. Sorry. You see it?
I really love the pop of color. Like this is,
It's almost like
vintage 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Peter.
No,
the
you're good.
90s didn't age very well. And I feel like they're kind of being forced back on us in a way because it's just nostalgic. I
Mhm.
remember the 90s freaking clearly. It was not a fashionable time period. And it was it was the joke of everybody for a long time. And then all of a sudden, yeah, let's market this shit now. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Speak for yourself. I had a mushroom
There's
cut
things
and
that I
I
like
look
about it.
fabulous.
Things that I'm into. I love recycling. Sure, recycling old ideas I'm down with that. But I think the purple is perfect for Raptors fans. Like if you're a basketball fan and you like the Raptors, that purple, that would be a wicked watch to be like, it goes with my Raptors outfit. You go to the Raptors game, you got your gear on, that watch with that purple strap, that would be a wicked freaking, it would complement the outfit nicely. What I don't like is the dual lug design. There's something off about it.
The dual crown?
Yeah, sorry.
Do we know
I
what the
think it's
purpose
probably more
is?
comfortable than like a single or a triple crown. And that's what I like about the Seiko is how the crown is offset. It makes for a very comfortable wear. But aesthetically, I find it kind of weird.
It kind of reminds me of the chrono pushers that are on the Daytona without a middle chrono, without a middle crown.
That's what
What
it
was
feels
your
like to me.
question
It's
there,
like
Peter?
it's incomplete. It's like missing that third crown instead of.
I was wondering what the pushers did. Are they or the crowns, sorry. Is one just no, because there's not even an hour. Or not an hour, a date window. What the heck is the 2 crowns for?
I honestly don't even know.
That's what I'm
It is
looking at.
with an automatic Miyota 42-hour power reserve. I don't even know what 2 crowns are for.
Yeah, 'cause it
There's
doesn't-
2 chains, but I don't get the 2 crowns.
So this is
Oh, hold on, here it is.
There we
watch
go.
with a mass-produced movement. That makes
One,
it
two.
a lot less appealing to me.
There's one to adjust the internal bezel, the other to set the time.
Can you maybe adjust how much purple there is? Like maybe you can like remove the purple around or something like that.
Well, if you can move the internal bezel, I would assume that the purple is going to stay stationary, but this is going to move around. I don't really know
Yeah,
why
no,
you
that's
could
gotta be
possibly
right.
do that.
You're probably correct. That's interesting.
So I
That's
think you'll
cool,
still
sure.
get the about like
Yeah.
2/3 of it. The sub register will be still purple, but I assume that these little white markings will probably rotate.
Cool.
I don't really get the point of it. I think it's
Just a
kind of
party
cool with the
trick,
two
bro.
crowns.
It
Yeah,
is
pretty
cool.
much.
Yeah. It looks
It's
Just to be
Joker
cool.
colors, but it's Joker
Yeah.
colors. It's totally like it gives me vibes of like Batman comic books and the old
Fair enough.
Joker vibes. But
I know that's actually reasonable to say.
Yeah.
I like it in the all black as well. I think that's nice.
I like this color though.
I mean,
mhm.
more
I really
boring,
like the
I guess.
polished case. It looks good. Like everything's like all one tone kind of thing and all one polish. Like instead of having like two-tone or anything like that, I find it just looks
Yeah.
like looks very different compared to most other watches out there. I kind of like that about Baltic. They kind of look a little bit unique
Yeah.
in a sense.
But
They're
the
neat
thing
watches.
is, as cool as this is,
That is
the one
freaking
that really
cool.
stands out for me in Baltic is the MR01 we previously discussed.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is really their flagship. And if I'm gonna spend this money, I'd rather have this or this. The
want the
MR01
blue
in
dial.
salmon or silver. Maybe the blue.
Man,
Any
look
three
at
of these
that.
I'd take over.
Oh,
That's
so
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah. I
Those
like
are
the look.
timeless. This is more of a pop, this is a fun poppy kind of swatchy kind of watch to me.
Yeah.
The others are like, ooh, that's high horology for a very low price, which is why those are sold out. And so is this. So you're fucked anyway.
Everything's
Whatever.
sold out right now.
It's fucked.
But they only reserved 200 for this, so it was like coming and going immediately.
That's
So
small amount.
just
Every
like me.
watch brand is doing it now just because everyone's learned to do it.
Well, they
It's
see
just the new, it's
Hodinkee
just how it
making
is now.
killing. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it'll stop eventually. They
Let's
can't keep this
see
forever.
the people who are driving the shit. The Met Gala. I don't think we need to dwell on this too much, but I think this has been a little bit beaten to death. But here's a few celebrities or so who have questionable choices. I'd say Ryan Reynolds knocked it out of the park with
Yeah.
his gold Speedmaster Moonwatch. The other ones, I don't know. So here's Pete Davidson. He was wearing a Datejust with some diamonds. But I like the
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds Omega Speedmaster. This one is the one that stands out with
Yeah.
the green dial. This is, to be honest, though, sort of a wannabe version of my John Mayer.
I don't think so.
I'll just say that. No?
I think that the timing is to ride the green train. Like I think they're releasing it now with the green because Rolex has made it popular, just like everyone is releasing green dials. But
Like the blue thing.
even though many people compare the Speedmaster and Daytona, I don't really compare them. Because like
I still think that this
as a
is
base
great.
watch, they're in a completely different price category to begin with. And then I also think aesthetically they look quite different. I mean, they're both chronographs, but I don't think a Speedmaster and a Daytona look the same. They just have a similar layout. And this green is a completely different kind of British racing green that's quite complementary to this kind of gold.
And the
So,
gold
like-
is actually rose gold. So this is somewhere in between the Masters day date and the green gold Daytona. So I agree.
Yeah.
It's got its unique bits, but it is, like you said, riding that trend.
Yeah,
I really love it. I think it's super on point.
I want one.
Beautiful.
Would I ever like go for it? And if I didn't have my green gold Daytona, would I be like, I wish I had that? Yeah, I probably still would.
Yeah.
But I think the two could exist in synchrony. If money
Yeah.
no object, could I have that? I would definitely have it. But
I mean,
I'll
I think
take
you
my
could have
Daytona.
both or either, and you'd be happy.
Oh
They're
yeah.
both incredible.
I really like the
and
version.
yeah,
I really
This
like
is-
the version of the Speedmaster, like that one, but it's got the red red bezel and the red
Mm,
dial, or it's like, or maybe it's kind of maroonish, but it looks almost the exact same. But it reminds me of in the topic or talk of that kind of thing. I almost like that one a little bit better.
Here's Oscar Isaac, who I thought was like the close runner-up. He's got the Tank Française or Française, which is like a full gold tank. I thought that was kind of cool. It's still quite small. I don't think I can pull it off. Here's the Corey Gamble Tiffany Nautilus that everyone was kind of talking about that looked quite not well matched to his interesting tuxedo.
yeah,
And
it doesn't
then
look good.
Jack Harlow's Rolex Sky Dweller. I think this one to me is the one that just makes me kind of, my heart is imploding a little bit on itself because I really want a Santos now. When you see Adrian Brody's Cartier Santos in gold, it looks goddamn good, especially
Yeah.
with his tux. I think that
Yeah,
and the Ryan Reynolds gold Speedmaster look
Yeah.
the best of the bunch.
I think you should pursue one of these Cartier.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
They are super nice.
And
Would I
you
want
can
it in
wear with
gold?
jeans
No.
and a t-shirt or a tuxedo. Like
Yeah.
straight up.
I think in steel it's a perfect watch. In gold, I again think I'd rather have another type of watch in gold. But this one looks awesome.
Yeah.
It does look really nice.
I just don't see myself investing that much money on having an all gold watch that's a Santos, but I see it totally
Fair
for a steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can definitely appreciate the aesthetic. I just don't see myself making that investment. That's all.
I'm on the same page with you. I would buy this. I would buy the all steel, single tone, all steel. But
Yeah.
if money were no object, this is the one I would buy.
Yeah. Any other ones that you want to talk about that need to be discussed? I feel like we've done the Tiffany Nautilus. I mean, this
They're all
is a blue
boring
sky dweller.
otherwise.
Meh. Yeah. Honestly, the
Two
major
interesting
standouts
watches
are
and everything else is boring. It's just standard and expected. Like I expect everyone to wear Rolex, which is not an insult to Rolex. Like, yeah, sure. I expect Rolex to pop up. I expect Richard Mille to pop up. Cool. But what's like the interesting pieces amongst all of the standard stuff out of a watch catalog? Because like all we're seeing is like a magazine that's got all the different pictures on it, right? We're just seeing it's just a marketing campaign. So what's the coolest pieces in there? For me,
Yeah,
Speedmaster with Ryan Reynolds, and then Cartier Santos.
for sure. I would
And
say a
everything-
close one
Well,
would be this
that's a
Cartier
nice piece
tank
for a
mask
lady.
Cool.
for Sarah Jessica Parker. I think that looks great on her.
Yeah. I just don't like her, and I think she's annoying. So fuck her.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's jump to the car news. So, one quick mention that's going to be pretty interesting. Really has no impact to my garage. Is Audi and Porsche are going to be entering Formula One. So there was like a leaked image that came out. So they'll be joining. I don't know how that really impacts anything. Although, you know, I do certainly get vibes of the Carrera GT when they initially had the Formula One derived engine, and then it got into the Le Mans engine plans, and then they just launched it in production. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the one that I really want to get to is the BMW M4 Csl. This is the one that I already contacted the manager a little while ago, a few months ago, knowing that this was going to be coming down the pipelines. There's like little prototype bits of, this looks like a CGI image that you see a bit of highlights of the headlights and taillights. But really the major highlight that I want drawn to is what the hell's going on with the grille. My suspicion is that it's going to be still a monster grille.
Oh yeah.
We were just talking about it on the Instagram post of the one that I saw that was like purple, and that grill I just could not get over. This one's got the ducktail though, and that's going to be cool. So
maybe they'll open up the front end in some kind of dramatic aero front end way that it will like absorb the impact of the giant, disgusting rodent teeth. But like, there's nothing that I've never seen one of these on the road that I like. Every time I see one, I'm like, oh, fuck, what did you do? Like, I love the side of it. I love all these other profiles of the car. But I really hope they do something to open up the front end, almost in a way what Aston Martin has done on their newer cars that are the performance models. They've already got a big grille, then they make it freaking huge and blow out the front end, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Maybe
when you look at
that kind of
the
style change with a more aggressive front apron would help minimize the impact of those puke-worthy kidneys.
when you look at the E46 M3 CSL that never came to North America, like that just looks so timeless, and it's a tiny grill.
Yeah.
I think that looks just gorgeous. If only they had offered it with a manual, that would have been one that I immediately sought out, but it only had the SMG. So this one is going to be 3-liter twin turbo straight six, and it's going to be suspected to be potentially around the 550 horsepower realm.
Wow.
It'll have carbon bits, lightening of the weight. I think it's roughly going to be about 100 or so, or 200 pounds less. It'll be limited. The suspicion is that it's going to be rear-wheel drive and that it'll only be dual clutch and not manual, though. That's the only thing. But I think it's still pretty cool. I still would be really interested to see it, and I would still strongly consider buying it. Especially if it's a limited, I think it would be a no-brainer to at least own for a short period of time and release it if it just wasn't a keeper for the long run.
Totally. I
Would you
support
go
that.
for it?
I could say go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, BMWs are amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
And
they
I
used to
think
be.
that, you know, from what's that?
They used to be. I mean, you got to pick them carefully. The M5 CS, cool. M2 CS, very cool. Some others, I wonder.
I think, okay, maybe let me pick my words more carefully then. BMW makes a very good car, and they're quite appealing to a lot of people, and I understand why. Most of the model range now is not exciting to me, but there's a few cars they make that are extremely exciting, you know, primarily the M2 model range, and then the M5 model range, especially the unavailable M5 CS. Like that would probably be my dream car. Like that's probably the car that if I could, I would take that and I'd be happy forever. But overall, it's a great brand. They make a lot of really good stuff. Mini Cooper, while a bit expensive, makes a lot of amazing stuff as well. I'm struggling with some of the design features that they've been coming out with, and I really don't like the front end of their cars anymore.
This makes me slightly want to vomit though when I see this on the prototype.
Scary.
On the front end of the grill. I don't
Maybe
know.
just
Hopefully they
tape over
salvage
it.
that.
Maybe just put a bunch of tape on it.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's pretty
We'll see
ugly.
what the finished product is. It looks,
you know, you'd be
very
buying
snarly.
it because it's limited, and hopefully you don't take a loss on it, and it's going to be great to drive.
In
You
this
just have
market,
to
you're
never
not
look
taking a
at it
loss.
from the front. Always make sure you pull into parking spots so you never have to approach it from the front. You know.
What blows my mind is though, like the M2 and the M5 CS look great. Why is it that the M4 front end is just, they refuse to listen to to everyone who says this is ugly as shit?
Well,
Stupid.
is it everyone, or does everyone in
God,
China
that's
love
so
the car?
bad.
Because we all know that China is the largest market, is the largest the largest growing market, and will take over. We all know, and it's an accepted fact, that BMW is working towards changing their design features to be more appealing to the Asian continent. So that means the European style cues are changing a bit. And for some of us who like that European styling, we feel left out. But, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who really love that design because, I mean, like their marketing team is smart enough to know not to sell a car that's going to fail. They're going to sell a car that is successful. It's just now we're left out because this is not the way we like cars to look. Thankfully, Porsche still makes beautiful cars that are supposed to look like Porsches.
Cheers
Yep.
to that.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump straight over to the Porsches. We talked a little about Formula One, but here's one that needs to be discussed. It's this 911 Sport Classic, limited to only like 1,250 units, and I'm probably never going to get it, and I'm sad. It's a rear-wheel drive manual only, but it's 7-speed, 550 horsepower, I believe 3-liter turbo. So it's something that's developed from Porsche exclusive department. So it isn't a GT car, probably more based on a somewhere between GTS versus turbo type of platform with 542. So that is turned down from the actual Turbo S configuration. They say that that's because it needs to be accommodated by their manual transmission. So it looks so goddamn good. I think it's like the best looking 992 that they made. There are rumored to be like 4 different Porsche exclusive manufacturer models. There was the Targa that originally came out that everyone was like meh, and then there's the Sport Classic, and then maybe there's going to be something like an RS Classic version, and then there's also going to be maybe an ST version. What do you guys think? Hit or miss? To me, I think it's pretty cool. I wish I could get it. It's not like the top of my list of ones that I want to have, especially when I consider all that could be coming down.
That's fair.
I'll take that one exactly how it looks right there.
Oh, it
Yeah.
looks so freaking
That looks
good.
insane.
With the classic gray
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the stripe.
looks beautiful. I like the livery as well.
Yeah, I would take it with gray with these the little gold trim bits. I spec'd it out. You can do the configurator on the Europe version, and it looks gorgeous with the
Yeah, it's a stunning car.
Fuchs type of wheels. Looks
Yeah.
so good. Mhm.
You know, there are a lot of other options on the market as well, obviously, and since this is unattainable because of the limited run and how Porsche operates, you know, maybe you can get one. You have some contacts, but if you don't, yeah, there's lots of other cool options out there. This though, like, oh my God, look at that.
The interior is the best
interior
part of it,
So good.
What?
with the houndstooth Pepita
That's
and the
insane.
like the creamy interior with the wood grain and the gold trim. Like it's just beautiful. To me, that is why it stands out the most of
Yeah,
all.
the
It's
interior
just
is
the
incredible.
look. Oh, looks
It's
so good.
you know, 911R territory.
It's got the gold, sorry, it's got the green little bits of on the dash that are harkening back to the 911R again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is classic Porsche. You ideally spend more of your time in the car driving it than sitting there looking at it. So Porsche has gone over and above with making that interior incredible because that's ideally where you spend most of your time. And that's how you can take a Porsche and make it extremely unique. You can keep it a Porsche on the outside, and then you can just go nuts with the interior and make it incredibly beautiful. And I wonder for you guys as well, like Turbo S, that's an all-wheel drive platform. This is, you said rear-wheel drive.
This is rear-wheel drive.
So I would suspect that Porsche has also just decided that for the overall driving dynamics of the car, dialing back the power a little bit would be beneficial just for how the car drives. Like if Porsche was just focused on numbers games, they could have dialed this up to 700 horsepower and been done with it. But that's not their style. Porsche focuses on actually driving the car and their overall driving dynamics. And while we all, you know, joke more power, in some cases, a little bit less power is actually better based off of just the overall setup of the car.
I would take less power and manual transmission, but here's the ideal thing. A car that looks like this on the outside and the inside, that's actually tuned by GT department with the 6-speed that's in the GT3 with the 5-liter naturally aspirated engine. Now you're like, people will kill for this. People are already going to kill for this, but like, can you imagine that? That's probably going to be like the ST version. I wouldn't be surprised. They'll take the looks of this, apply it with GT department, and then you've got like everyone just selling their kidneys for a car that everyone wants. This is still a car that I really want though. I think it's
Yeah.
super cool.
Cool.
You've contacted Porsche inquiring about it, he said.
I mean, I contact them about every single model that's desirable, and so far nothing's coming my way. You know,
Well, they have in
it's
the past, and I expect they would again in the future.
I'm sad to say that,
Huge
you know, I'm
client
kind
base.
of happy to see that the economy is kind of cooling off a little bit and lending rates are going up, because I need a little less competition, to be honest. I need people to stand shoulder to shoulder with me for the real reasons, where they're like passionate for a real reason. And this is the reason why I'm passionate. I still have a deposit on a bloody Civic Type R. So apparently there's going to be a US debut of the prototype on July 1st. So it's going to be a good summer, because on, I think, May 20th, either May 20th or May 22nd, we get the reveal of the M4 CSL. And then July 1st, we're going to get the Type R prototype coming. And then in the fall, we've got a G-Wagon coming. We've got a GR Corolla coming. I can still live with, you know, Porsche stonewalling me a little bit. And I think I've got a pretty good collection to bridge it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to all of it. I think these are all really cool, short-lived experiences. But I think my major question for you guys is, would you go sport classic if you had to sell the 964 and the GT2? Say Porsche said, okay, fine, we'll give you a sport classic, but you got to give us both the GT2 and you got to give the 964 over. Would you do it?
I don't know. I haven't driven your GT2 yet, and I don't know what that value equation works out to be like. Like, what's the cost benefit in that situation? Would you come out on top or in the hole?
Yeah,
And
I mean, probably on
like
top.
you may come out in the hole immediately, but that car would probably go up in value quite significantly. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I haven't done the math on any of it yet.
The thing is, though, like, as cool as that car is, it is still not a GT2, and it
Yeah.
is most
He's so-
definitely not a GT2 and a 964.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could give the 964 away. I
Yeah.
mean, if there was a lot of money that was left to me with a Delta, like where they were going to give me money to give the GT2 and the 964 over, then that wouldn't be too bad. But I don't know.
Yeah. I
It's
don't know.
all hypothetical because nobody's giving me anything.
The GT2 RS is really the rocket ship car that everyone wants. So
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
pretty difficult
even-
to give up like their flagship car in a way to go for a classic car. You know, but I don't know, you love stick shift, and that gives you that. But there's other cars that give you that as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult choice. It's a very personal choice, obviously. I don't think I would do that because, I mean, it's not even a quality over quantity situation because you have quality and quantity. So do you want two great cars or one great car? You know, for me, it's kind of like, well, fuck that. That's pretty obvious. I would keep the GT2 and the classic car. And you have an actual classic car and an actual new Porsche race car. Well,
they were even talking about it on Spike's Car Radio about how the GT2 is like an unrecognized classic that is going to only go up in value and is going to be more and more desirable because they just don't make them like that.
Totally.
And they saw it as a potential $1 million car.
It's
probably not mine
spaceship,
since I'm driving mine. Yeah.
I think that the question is not replacing it, but is, do you think that car is a good addition to that garage? And the obvious answer is yes, but that's not the reality. I don't think that replacing those two with that one is the right setup. I think the ideal setup would obviously be to add that into the collection because that would bridge a gap between the GT2 and the old bastard. So that would be an interesting setup, but it's not as interesting as the 430. Like you already have a stick shift Ferrari.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, fuck, like who cares in a way then? Like it's a cool Porsche. If you don't have a Porsche already, or if you don't have a Ferrari, or if you're a collector and you want to add it to a significant collection. And I think that's really who it's aimed at. It's just aimed for the collectors. You know, I don't think it's really aimed for the one Porsche garage guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a challenge having so much privilege.
Yeah.
Take it easy. You're only half white.
Halfway privilege,
You're half privileged.
half privileged.
Yeah, totally. That's how it works. I'm half privileged. Peter's full on privileged. Look at that mustache.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to be in the Peter atmosphere.
In your
In his
presence,
aura.
it's a privilege to be in your presence.
Yes, that's
Just
the word.
that amazing.
go.
I like atmosphere because it's the word that I chose because I couldn't think of the word that I wanted.
Natural atmosphere. Always
Can
better.
I got to do one final mic drop though.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Deposit is on for 296 GTS.
Why didn't we lead with that?
Hey, that's so sick.
The convertible 296 Ferrari
Ah.
in that blue.
I'm
would be
done.
Super cool.
So sick.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's the same 296 GTB. I think it's beautiful as a convertible. I think it looks great with the black top here.
Fuck
and
life,
then the
man.
blue.
Wow, that's so sick.
That's
Yeah.
like the coolest shit. Fuck Porsche, bro. Look at that. Why were we even talking about that piece of shit? Look at
And
this.
they'll actually give me one. Look at that hard top open. Oh, that's the
Oh,
stuff.
that's
of dreams.
seductive.
Oh, that's so fucking sick.
This is a dope car.
Oh,
I know that we shit on electric and hybrid.
What? No, I love hybrid.
No, hybrid's good. Electric shit.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Is it?
Look
I'm
at that.
excited.
That's stunning.
Oh my god, the colors.
The blue is amazing. I love that blue.
Would you
I
go
would
for
go for the blue.
I would go for blue more than the Assetto Fiorano, but we know which one will be the more desirable to get
Yeah.
the
It's
stripe
frustrating.
package set, which will be like 50 grand extra or whatever. But
God, that looks so fucking good.
there's
Man,
rumblings
without the
that
top on it, it's just insane.
Oh,
With
this
top
looks
on,
like
it looks
a
amazing.
Le Mans race car.
I like
So
that on.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
man.
God, that looks so good. That's so sick.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
Yeah,
honestly kind of
I
forgot.
have two testicles, one of which is up for grabs. If they'll give me this car,
god.
I think this is a double nutter.
I'll give both. That's fine, as long as they can hook me up with a way to enjoy life.
But here's the challenge, though. If this one puts me in a squeeze, I've got a 296 GTS versus Porsche releases their new hypercar. I know which one I'm going for. But for now, this is the only one that's actually attainable to me.
There
That's
you
the
go.
crazy
Yeah,
thing.
And this is
That's
the only
the-
one that's real. The other one's still hypothetical.
Yeah.
And
For
that's
sure.
a good way to look at it right now.
Frig.
To me, this stands out more than the GTB.
Bro.
I don't know why.
Oh, dude, it's so sexy.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I think it's dope.
Yeah, I'm done.
Can't even say anything else. Daniel's
How
that
does that go for mic drop? Hard top
Fuck it.
closed.
ever.
Look at that fucking thing in blue, man. I know
Yeah,
the
blue
value
looks
thing is there, but like the prop, but fuck that at the moment.
But with the black top on that
Those
blue,
wheels.
looks so good. The wheels look really good.
Oh, I know, right?
It's the whole package.
Can you imagine
Ah,
doing a night drive in that? Oh, that
ah.
looks
Oh
good.
my god.
That
That's so
beside your
nice.
430 is the perfect garage done.
Probably. I love this rear haunch. I never noticed it in the 296 GTB on the rear wheel arch. It really goes up from the vent upward over the wheel like that.
It's quite
It's very
nicely
pronounced. It looks like a
stylized
race
or
car.
pronounced.
It looks like a Ford GT almost. Old Ford
Yeah.
GT though, not new Ford GT.
Not the one that got smashed in Florida by Florida Man. Yeah.
Man,
Just-
I
just
could
the
see
rear
myself in that thing.
Just the rear end though, not the whole car. Looks just too nice.
Well, one day we'll have to go off to our Italian villa, Daniel, you and I,
Yeah. I'll see.
Yeah.
in one. Yeah.
Look at
Well,
that road.
that's a perfect one to end the show on.
Is it ever, man?
296
That's so
GTS.
crazy. I smile right now.
I think it's one of the last allocations that they have. So thank you, Carlo.
Steve might be getting a new car. I'm having a heart attack. It's a crazy night.
It's good. It's a good time.
That's so sick.
Let me
Oh,
just share
man.
one slight thing that just is completely going to throw off the ending to this. That
Yeah,
pisses
yeah.
me off. When I wind the crown on this Daytona, it's a little bit crunchy, not in a good way. You can feel a little bit of grit when you twist it,
Really?
and it's I think it's going back. I think I'm just gonna refund it. No, I'm gonna just send it in for warranty work. That's all. It's
Yeah,
under
absolutely.
warranty.
Get that fixed now, because any kind of abnormal sound is just an early indicator of a problem.
I did send it in before. It did this before, and the white dial doesn't do this. Nothing else that does this, but this one has a bit of a slight, and it's usually when it's fully gone out. I just realized that the time wasn't right on it because I hadn't been wearing it for a little while, and I've been wearing it all day. I probably shouldn't have even twisted the crown. Whatever. Fuck you.
Just see how
I
it
did
was.
it. It's
Well,
crunchy. I don't like it.
do you hear that, Nick? Buy a Zenith.
No, no, no. This is still staying with me forever. All Daytonas, they come, they stay, they don't leave.
And they just keep on
with,
coming.
With all respect to Nick, I'm not purging any of these Daytonas. So, yeah. All right, boys.
All right,
296 GTS, warranty repaired Daytona. And I'm a winner.
This is a good life.
It is a good life. It's a good life sharing with you guys, boys.
Fucking sick.
You guys, boys.
Yeah, thanks, guys, boys. I hope you have
You
a
guys,
great
boys.
night.
Boys, guys.
All right,
And,
guys, boys. Billy Bobby.
Thanks for the great chat tonight, guys. Tonight, boys.
Great chat.
Thanks for the great chat tonight,
Great
boys.
chatting it up.
Guys, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, you guys, boys.
Have a good one. Peace.